Before we watch this next clip, take a second and consider how much of your life is transmitted over the internet. So much is at risk of being hacked. Head over to nordvpn.com/TYT right now for 75% off of 3 years of military-grade encryption for up to 6 of your devices. Sign up now and get a free month when you use the code TYT.
Now that we have a clear understanding of what the migrant detention centers look like, and keep in mind that 24 migrants have died in US custody, we have Lindsey Graham essentially saying that he does not care about the rule of law, and he certainly doesn't care about the conditions in which these migrants are held in. Take a look.
What I saw is a bunch of people have been here before, broke the law before, and we're not gonna let them go. I don't care if they have to stay in these facilities for 400 days. We're not gonna let those men go that I saw. It would be dangerous.
He's referencing men that he saw, right? So here's what he's talking about. He actually accompanied Vice President Mike Pence to 2 detention facilities in Texas. And this video actually got a lot of negative attention because, well, I mean, just watch the video. Keep an eye on the conditions in which these men are kept in. So you have men in an overcrowded cage, essentially. They're talking about how they haven't been given a shower, they're begging for showers. And you might not be able to hear clearly, but in that same video, you hear someone say 3 tacos a day, meaning that's all they get to eat. And so they're hungry, they're kept in these terrible conditions, it's overcrowded, they can't sleep. And you have Lindsey Graham saying, I don't care if they have to stay there for 400 days. And by the way, one other video that went viral, and we can toss to this now, but keep my mic up, featured Pence essentially examining these men in the cages as if he's looking or keeping an eye on cattle. It's just sick.
It's an overseeing look over subhuman conditions, honestly. Or as if, as you said, it does look like there's animals behind cages and he's making sure that they're staying there. No, what he's trying to do is look like he's taking this seriously and he's being told some conditions that he's being updated on by this, I'm not sure which level of officer this is that's giving him the tour. Also, reporters were in there with him, they said, for like, what, a minute and a half. And they got a chance to really survey the conditions. Now, when Trump, maybe even last week said, I want Smitty to come in and check out these facilities. I want him to come. I remember thinking, oh yeah, you know, how soon, which ones, and are you gonna make sure they're gonna be like camera ready? I overestimated even what they would do then. So you have the cameras come in, you have the vice president go in, and they look like this?
Yep.
This is what you wanted to portray when you were setting it up?
You know why? Because like we all see it. Like we're not, like it's just right there in plain sight.
What are those blankets? Why?
That's what they get. They get
those
foil
those
blankets.
Like solar blankets or whatever they're called, and then.
So following this video going viral, Pence started complaining about the media's portrayal of the detention facility. We see it right there, it's in front of us. And he tried to spin it as if, you know, the conditions are great and they're kept in sanitary and safe spaces. No, but they're not. But the reason why I bring that up, the reason why they didn't really prepare and get this place media ready is because they can just turn around and twist things and spin things in any way they want. Again, the Trump administration, Trump specifically, has a 90% approval rating from Republican voters. He can do anything and get away with it. And what we just saw might upset us, but apparently Republican voters love it.
This is what happens when you can start your presidential campaign and say they're rapists, they're drug dealers, they're killers, they're coming for your family, look out for them. And then from then on, continues. By the way, that type of rhetoric didn't start with Donald Trump, we know that. It's one of those things that's happened throughout history with anyone that we've oppressed, that we've mistreated, that we've killed. They're not really human. So then therefore, once we treat them like they're not really human, and you've been brainwashed enough with this, you can say, well, who cares? They're not really human. If you got cattle behind a fence, that's okay. Hey, they're supposed to be there. What if they run off? So you have this mindset already set in place, so they can do this and carry it on no matter what happens, no matter what else they do to people. And then after our lying eyes see it and we complain about it, then they go, What are you guys so mad about? They're just migrants. I'm sorry, they're illegals is what they call them. There's terms that they put on us. It's very subtle things. Actually, it's not that subtle, but they put these terms on people and next you know, you don't care about them anymore.
Right, and like they're trying to normalize what we saw. What we just saw were a bunch of men with these like aluminum foil blankets and standing all together. Like you couldn't lay down or sit down if you wanted to. You'd be in fear of being trampled. And this is supposed to be a good thing. Also, they're all in long sleeves and hoodies when we know it's 190 degrees outside, which makes me worried about how, you know, ridiculously cold and uncomfortable it is in there while they only have what we saw as blankets. That video right there that they're proud of, and that's supposed to prove that all of these other people are lying. That looks terrible.
I know.
So and you're right, both of you are right. That rhetoric didn't start with Trump. But people are happy that they have someone speaking for him. Nobody's learning from him. It's just nice for a lot of terrible people to have someone to feel comfortable saying out loud how they treat people behind the scenes. And sometimes, you know, right in front, but they have a leader who gets to stand on a national platform, on a global platform and speak like them.
Absolutely, and for Trump, this is part of his campaign. Like this is part of his re-election campaign. Again, like about 30% of voters look at that and they think, yep, gonna vote in favor of re-election. So again, I mean, we look at that and we're disgusted by it because we see those people as people, whereas a portion of this country does not see them as people. They have been, you know, these migrants have been dehumanized by politicians in this country for a very long time.
Yeah, and what he said, I saw people who should never be let free in this country. I just saw brown people. I didn't see anybody wielding a machete. And if you saw someone who was just such a wild danger by just on appearance, you know that they cannot be in this country, and it's not because of your racism. Why are they in there with all of the other people? Why are they not a danger to all of the other people? They're still humans, and you claim to care about humans. It's just the law that you're focused on. So why would those people that you see, why are you standing so close to them? Why would that scary, awful person that you see that just cannot be set foot free in America? Why? What did you see? What did you see?
Well,
we know what he saw.
Let me just quickly note something because Thomas Homan, who is the former acting ICE director, apparently in 2017 said some interesting things about migrants. While the right-wing demagogues and fear-mongers about how these are dangerous criminals and we need to look out for them, Homan was on the record saying the following to reporters. Did I say aliens commit more crimes than US citizens? I didn't say that. I'm saying number one, they're in the country illegally. They already committed one crime by entering the country illegally. But when they commit a crime against a citizen of this country, they draw our attention. Jim Acosta also spoke to him off camera later and said at off-cam White House briefing, acting ICE Director Homan concedes undocumented immigrants do not commit more crimes than native-born Americans. Look, they do this for political gain. Fear-mongering in politics has been a very successful strategy. I mean, we saw that during the Bush administration, where Americans very willingly gave up their civil liberties because they were afraid of terrorists. And so our privacy, things that we should value as Americans were just given away because we were afraid. And the same thing is happening now when it comes to fear-mongering in regard to undocumented immigrants.
So we can
and asylum seekers, by the way, asylum seekers. Legal means in which you become a citizen or get granted entry in the United States.
We're gonna talk about the asylum stuff in a bit later on, but so because it's all mixed together, right? And you can even look at those conditions and say, wow, there's this many people that are trying to cross or have crossed our border in however many recent years or months and days and all that. And you can be alarmed by that. It's okay to still be alarmed by that and go, man, this is an issue because that is, it's a cost because obviously facilities cost something to build or create or make humane. That's a cost that's put in place, right? And that's one of the things that Pence was talking about. We need just 4.6 billion or something like that. I forget how much the exact number is. We need that 4.6, which by the way, they were given without any guidelines on how they're gonna treat people there. Let's just get this money and give it to us and we'll figure it out. The money was given to you. Why hasn't it been figured out yet? Number one. Number two, if everyone can agree that there's an issue at the border, what are we gonna do about the issue? Why is it happening? The thought process past one I guess, layer is they're bad people. That's what the American government's policy and position is. They're bad people and they're coming. We have to stop them. Why are they coming? What have we done to create a situation where they're coming? And then we didn't expect it. We've never expected immigration because it's happening all the time. We're not prepared for it. We're not prepared to do anything about the process because we let 100 people in and we go, we don't have the facilities to do so. We don't have the government officials to do this work. Make it happen.
Right.
How is it you're not ready for that yet?
Well, I mean, they don't care to be ready. And while Trump had no problem declaring a national emergency to fund his border wall, which, by the way, what are the updates on the construction of that border wall, right? Billions of dollars were diverted from disaster relief funds for that ridiculous, nonsensical, and counterproductive border wall. But at the same time, I mean, Trump has exacerbated the crisis at the border because he's pulled away funding to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars from the very countries that we should be working with to improve the conditions there so people don't seek to flee and seek asylum here in the US.
Well, hey, you made it this far. You must really like the Young Turks. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Now, another easy way to keep supporting us also helps keep your internet activities and data private, all with a push of the NordVPN app. Head to nordvpn.com/TYT right now for 75% off of your next 3 years.